Hey everyone, welcome back to Major Arcana Month. We are exploring the last card in the Major Arcana today with the World. So you know the drill, grab your note-taking material and we'll dive right in. So we see a figure floating in the sky holding two wands surrounded by a wreath, and there are four floating heads in the corners. What does this mean? So the four floating heads, we've seen them before in the Wheel of Fortune, are the fixed signs of the zodiac, reminding us that the only fixed thing is change. So the World is a card of change. However, it is the last card in the Major Arcana, so there is this sense of a destination being reached, an achievement. You've done it. Usually the World is going to show up for something like pretty big, like possibly moving cities, graduating university, and publishing a book, a big promotion. There's something like pretty big about the World. If it doesn't manifest as an outer situation, like I said, graduating university or moving cities, like if you want to move cities because it's a celebration, and then the internal shift is that you've been so far along now on your journey. You've done so much healing. You've done so much shadow work. You've let go of so many illusions. You've rediscovered the most authentic aspects of yourself. And this is a cause for celebration. So it is a sense of achievement, but also a sense of oneness. In the Magician, you see the Magician holding one wand, channeling universal life force energy. In the World, you have the opportunity to realize you are universal life force energy. So it is a card of oneness, this sense that you are a part of everything, this kind of bigger picture. That is like, I recognize that that's like pretty spiritual. That sometimes when you get this card, you won't feel that way, but that is an opportunity with this card. The four fixed signs also represent the four elements. So there is a sense in the World that quintessence is being realized. Now, once again, we saw this in the Magician and we saw this in the Wheel of Fortune. Quintessence in alchemy is where when you have harmony between the four elements, so earth, air, fire, and water are seen as the four elements in alchemy, then you are creating quintessence. And quintessence is like the fifth element, like spirit. And it's seen to be very healing, it's very powerful, and it flows when all the elements are harmonized. So there's this sense here in the World that there is this harmony in your inner and outer world. There is a sense of harmony, there's a sense of celebration, there's a sense of success and achievement. This is echoed by the wreath of laurels, which by the way we've seen before and you'll see again in the tarot. The Fool is wearing a wreath, a crown of laurels. So is the figure in the Six of Wands, which we'll see later. We also see this in the Ace of Swords. So it's in a few placements in the tarot. And whenever you see a crown of laurels, it indicates victory and success. This is because Apollo is associated with the laurel. And these were given to winners in the Olympics in ancient Greece. And so, yeah, so they're associated with Apollo, which is really cool. And with that does come the sense of victory, of achievement, of success, but also right action, honor, and integrity. So once again, with the presence of the four elements, with this idea that you are channeling quintessence, this realization of oneness, there is a sense in the World that things are right in your world. There's a sense of harmony and flow. You have reached some kind of victory. There's like, you feel really good. I know that sounds quite simple, but you know what's really funny? Some of these cards, like the World or like the Sun, there's not as much to say about them because it's almost like once you get to those places of healing or of oneness or of joy, it almost doesn't require very many words. This is kind of why, like in some of the other cards, you can go on quite a bit. It's kind of interesting. But anyways, when you pull the World, it is letting you know achievement, success, victory, harmony, a sense of oneness and flow, empowerment. It is also a message of new beginnings, but not until you've celebrated properly, which I really like. Because in the World, it's the last card in the Major Arcana. What happens next? It's a circle. You're going back to the beginning. Kind of like in alchemy, again, the Ouroboros, the snake eating its tail. This is a constant. There is no like final destination we reach where we're like, that's it. I've got the perfect job and the perfect partner and now nothing will ever change. That's not how life works. We're always going, think about life as more like a spiral. And that's what's going on with the World. Now the planetary placement for this card is particularly interesting. The planet associated with this card is Saturn. And now usually when you think about Saturn, you're like, because Saturn is like, remember, hot, strict, daddy of the planets, father time, making you eat your vegetables, take your medicine, and learn your lessons. So you're like, okay, so like I totally get Saturn and like like the devil, because Saturn rules Capricorn, and I can see how there's like some restrictions I have to face. But like the world, well, isn't often discussed with Saturn is that if you embrace Saturn, if you listen to Saturn, there are rewards. Uh-huh. And it's not like Santa because you've been good. It's almost just like a law of the universe. If you learn what you have to learn with Saturn, which is like to value your time, to recognize that there are restrictions as a part of life, to create solid structures and routines without being ruled by them, if you face the difficult stuff, you cannot help but get to the world. So the world is the rewards for Saturn. And indeed, I'm going to give Capricorn some love because I always feel so bad because I'll be like, Aquarius, your card is the star. Leo, your card is strength. And then you're like, Capricorn, your card's the devil. But Capricorn, stress not, because your card is also the world. And what we know about Capricorns is that when Capricorns set their mind to something, they can do anything. So Capricorns can be very, very successful and can reach great heights. And that's really what's happening with the Saturn placement in the world. You have heeded the lessons of Saturn, and now you get to have all of this harmony, all of this oneness, all of this flow, and all of this success. And again, just like I said, though, we're going back to the beginning because as I mentioned in the sun is the final ladder on the rung of planets and alchemy because it's gold and you're like, I did it. But then we go back to the beginning. We're always going to be starting these process over and over again because we are like the Ouroboros. We are always shedding. We're always discovering. There's always heights to reach and lows to explore. So the world does then carry this energy of new beginnings. And really, if you were to think about it, let's say you got this card because you got an awesome job in another city you're really excited about. That's going to be packed with new beginnings, a new job, and new people, a new home, and you're going to be learning about like new roads and new restaurants. You have to get a new car. You're learning transit. Like there's so many news with that. You can't help but see with the world, your world is also opening up a great deal when you get this card. Okay, my friends, success, victory, oneness, some kind of achievement that's celebrated, a culmination that is leading to new beginnings. Okay, thank you so much for being here, everyone. Thank you for enjoying Major Arcana Month. If you haven't already noticed, it is a playlist on my page. So you have access to all of the videos about the Major Arcana if you are learning tarot, or if you're just interested. And I do offer tarot mentorship. If this is interesting to anyone, it is in the link in my bio where we do one-on-one. I've got a couple of different styles, but it's basically where you can learn about the tarot with your own learning style and your own desires. All right, my friends, thank you so much for being here and happy tarot reading.